Wan-Bissaka, I'm going to say it now, he's the best tackler in the league. But he's far from the best defender in the league. He's just not. And then Luke Shaw on the other side. This fat child.
What's up YouTube? Welcome back to our channel where we try to predict the results of the English Premier League every week. Always chasing that perfect 10 out of 10.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you like what we're doing, turn on your notifications right now.
Let's go. Alright, let's get straight into it.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's straight into it. Leicester versus Chelsea. Leicester lost 2-1 at Burnley. The most surprising result for me in game week 24. Then they beat the Hammers 4-1 at home. Vardy was subbed off due to a glute injury in the first half, but Perez took charge and scored a hat-trick. Your favourite player.
Yes.
They travelled to Brentford for the FA Cup fixture and won 0-1 with their reserve squad. Chelsea, on the other hand, lost 1-0 at Newcastle, then drew 2-2 at home against the Gunners. I don't think Chelsea played with the same hunger as they did earlier in the season, so they're dipping down a bit. Two disappointing results for them. Although it's not as bad as Arsenal, they definitely also have their own defensive issues. I was expecting a 3-0 after we were a man down and a goal down at Chelsea, but in the end,
Pulled it out.
we clutched it. Finally, they defeated Hull away for the FA Cup game, but played their first team for that, which is surprising as well. I am thinking a Leicester win, bouncing back into fine form. I think Chelsea will be in trouble for this game, to be honest. About a 3-1 maybe.
That convincing, huh?
Yeah, even without Vardy, I think.
I can see where you're coming from, but I don't feel like I can write off Chelsea just yet with that, although they don't have Tammy Abraham. So that is gonna be a problem for them. I mean, it's a huge problem for England. England, what? No Kane, Abraham, Rashford. Yeah, but for me, I think in this game, I don't think Chelsea are gonna win, but I could see them getting a draw here. So it's going to be tough. I think the points Roger made are valid. Leicester probably the more informed team, but in this game I'm going to say a draw here.
I have to also add that we're trying to predict results at the same time as point you in the right direction of betting.
Yeah, we should make that a bit clear.
Yeah. So with that in mind, thinking about like football theory and stuff like that, that's one thing. But then like when it's placing a bet, I'm looking for whatever gets you a better chance of winning.
Yeah.
And I like to look at handicap bets where it's like more balanced. So in this game,
results-wise, it's more balanced.
Yeah. Chelsea will have strong odds because of its following.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think with the form of Leicester, you should be betting on Leicester.
Betting on Leicester.
Yeah, to win this one. Okay. Even with the handicap.
Yeah.
But I think the Leicester form outweighs the Chelsea handicap.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Complicated, but
Yeah. So Leicester will be a minus handicap for this game.
Yes.
Because they're home.
Yes.
But it won't be as skewed because Chelsea has a good following as well. A lot of people bet on Chelsea.
Yeah.
But I think this handicap will be insignificant because of Leicester's form. It might be like half a goal or something like that. It won't be it won't be big, like it won't be like a 2-goal handicap. If that's the handicap, then I think Leicester's form outweighs that.
Yeah.
And I will think that will be a better bet.
Should we maybe do a quick synopsis of what a handicap is? Like when you say half a goal.
Oh, okay. So if it's half a goal, negative half a goal for Leicester, that means if the result is 2-1 and you bet on Leicester, you still win because 2 minus half is 1.5.
Yes.
Yeah, and 1.5 is still better than 1.
Okay. So, but
if the handicap was 1 goal and the result was 2-1, that means after the handicap the result is 1-1.
Yes.
And then it's a draw.
And
so you don't lose and you don't win.
Oh,
you get your money back.
Because I always get confused with the handicap thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright, moving on.
Yes.
Okay, next game, Bournemouth versus Villa.
Yeah.
The Cherries lost 1-0 at Norwich in an eventful game in which Steve Cook was red carded. Then they played a pretty defensive game at home against Brighton, who had 2/3 of the possession, winning 3-1 and ending the winless drought. Both Wilsons, Harry and Callum, got a goal each. The fact that they couldn't control more of the ball, even at home, is a bit worrying. They will host the Gunners for the FA Cup next. Villa tied 1-1 at Brighton. Then they were 0-1 down at home against Watford before they made a dramatic comeback in the second half. Douglas Luiz equalising in the 68th minute, and Mings got a 95th minute winner.
Yeah.
3 very important points to make them just above the relegation zone. They will host Leicester for the Carabao Cup next, 2 days before facing Bournemouth. Both teams haven't been winning much lately, but Villa's 2-2-8 away record is why the odds is leaning more towards Bournemouth. But based on their fighting spirit displayed in the last game, I'm feeling a Villa win. Maybe like a 1-2.
Yeah. So initially, I was feeling a Bournemouth win in this game because I feel overall Bournemouth have more potential danger towards Villa. But like Rod said, that fighting spirit, it means a lot. And if I look at the past few games, although Villa haven't been winning, performances have been okay, again showing that fighting spirit. Also, I put Grealish in my team, and as soon as I put him in, he hasn't been doing much. So I think the potential is there. So I'm going to say a Villa win here.
Yeah, well, even if they don't win and they get a draw, the odds will be in Bournemouth's favour. So that means if you're handicapped Villa's way, you get, even if it's a draw, you win. Yeah. So Crystal Palace and Sheffield next. Palace unexpectedly drew 2-2 at Man City, then was overwhelmed by Southampton's excellent away form, losing 0-2 against them. Palace were contained to only 6 shots total, 5 chances created and 63% successful pass rate. The loss was predicted, but their stats in which was well under par. They don't have a cup game before facing Sheffield, getting a few extra days of rest than most teams this week. The Blades, on the other hand, lost 0-1 against Man City. Less possession was expected, but they gave their fighting effort as always and made it extremely difficult for Man City, only allowing Aguero to score the only goal after coming on from the bench in the second half. They beat Millwall 0-2 for their FA Cup game while resting most of their first team players, which is not an easy job as
No.
Sheffield is not like a really deep team.
Yeah.
Sheffield is solid, and the fact that odds are slightly in their favour, although being an away game, proves that. I'm expecting at least a draw for the Blades.
At least a draw.
At least a draw. So 0-1 or 1-2 Sheffield win.
Yeah, so that was exactly my prediction as well. I was debating between a draw or a Sheffield win here. So yeah, I think Roger pretty much covered everything, even betting wise or just plain results wise. Draw, Sheffield win. To give you a concise answer, I'm going to say a Sheffield win, but my answer truly is in between there somewhere.
Next is Liverpool versus Southampton. Liverpool came through with another W away against Wolves after beating United 2-0 at home. After that, they played Wolves away, and Liverpool was clearly worried about Wolves' speed and creativity, especially Traore, so they didn't press as hard as I've seen in some games. Mane was subbed off early due to an injury.
Hamstring injury.
Yeah, so he could be a doubt in the short term. On top of the extra FA Cup game against Shrewsbury, which they surprisingly drew 2-2 with decent teams, they also play their catch-up game at West Ham next. Southampton won, as mentioned. Redmond got a goal and an assist. Ings was rested initially but came off the bench to replace Shane Long late in the second half. This is their 4th away win in a row. Maybe they could make it 5, but unlikely. They drew 1-1 with Spurs for the FA Cup, where both teams played their first team. Liverpool could be slightly fatigued for this match, having only 1 day rest before facing a charging Southampton team, I feel. It really depends on how Klopp rotates his players in a busy schedule. On top of that, Mane's absence to worry Klopp.
Who would replace him then?
Could it be that,
the Japanese.
yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Okay,
Yeah.
so they have options.
Mina? Yeah, I could see a draw for this reason because Klopp doesn't like to rotate.
Yeah. So what are you saying for this game?
I'm saying a draw. I could see a draw. So, with that in mind, I'm definitely Southampton betting. Now, next one. Newcastle versus Norwich. Newcastle beat Chelsea 1-0 at home. St. Maximin's return made a difference as we predicted. Then they went on to draw 2-2 at Everton. They definitely deserve some credit for their recent form since their 0-3 loss to Leicester. They drew 0-0 with Oxford United for the FA Cup after that. Now, Norwich beat Bournemouth 1-0, then they lost 2-1 at White Hart Lane, with Pookie returning to the squad and scoring a penalty. They mashed Spurs' stats despite being the visitors, so that's a positive, I guess. Yeah. They beat Burnley first squad 1-2 for the FA Cup game with their second squad, which is also pretty decent. With St. Maximin and Pookie both back in their respective lineups, this could be a very interesting game. However, I think Newcastle doesn't really lose at home, except when St. Maximin was injured and Norwich is away, so it's 2-1.
Yeah. I think, just looking at it from straight, not fact-based, we've said from the beginning, Newcastle don't really lose at home that much. Norwich, when they're away, they don't really win. Put those two together, should be an easy Newcastle win here.
Yeah, pretty straightforward, that one. Next one is not so straightforward. Watford versus Everton. Watford drew 0-0 at home against Spurs, where Deeney missed the penalty, so to me, that could have been 1-0.
Yep.
Then they lost 2-1, as mentioned, at Villa. Their first loss since late December. They visited Tranmere for the FA Cup game, but rested their first squad to avoid injuries, so obviously the Premier League is their highest priority. Being dragged back into the relegation zone now. Everton, on the other hand, drew 1-1 at West Ham, then drew 2-2 at Newcastle. Richarlison has been out for both games and expected to be back for Watford, but we don't know for sure. Calvert-Lewin and even Keane scoring in his absence. They were 2-0 up early in the second half against Newcastle,
and late.
Yeah, but somehow conceded in the 94th and 95th minute to end up sharing the points. They don't have any cup games before Watford, so they will have some extra rest. Both coaches would be pretty pissed at their team's poor defence after these dramatic games. Odds will favour Everton slightly, but I'm expecting Watford to bounce back with the same amount of energy, so I'm calling a draw.
Okay, I agree with the draw here. Feisty affair. I'm expecting some tackles to be flying in there. I think this will be an interesting game. Hopefully you'll be able to watch it. One thing I think we should talk about is Everton's mental state after their Newcastle calamity. Like, how can you be so comfortable with 1 minute left and then end up drawing the game? Now you need to go away to an up-and-coming Watford team at home. Fiery atmosphere. I think Watford may want to capitalize on that. How will Everton handle that? We were just talking off camera and Rog mentioned this is what a good coach does, right?
That's where Ancelotti will come in.
Yeah.
And hopefully leave them on a positive mindset.
I think this will be a fun game, but I'm going to go with the draw here as well.
Yeah, in terms of betting, if I had to make a bet, I'd probably go with Watford because the odds will be similar on both sides and there won't be much handicap. And the chances of either team being the winner is probably very similar. So in the end, with a game like this, I'd probably just go with the home team advantage. Okay, next one is West Ham versus Brighton. West Ham drew at home against Everton as mentioned, then they lost 4-1 at Leicester as mentioned. They played much better in the second half but couldn't stop Perez's strikes. They are struggling in form with a long list of injuries, which include Anderson and Yarmolenko. They lost 0-1 to West Brom for the FA Cup despite playing their first squad. Brighton drew 1-1 at home against Villa, then lost 3-1 at Bournemouth as mentioned. They had majority of the possession but still couldn't get any points away, and their own goal by Gross didn't help. They don't have an FA Cup game though, so they have some extra rest. Which they need as their 2-2-8 away record isn't looking great in this tight table. Tough game to call as both teams haven't been performing of late. However, I think Brighton's defense is slightly better and I could see them edge this.
So you're saying a Brighton win, possible draw?
Draw, possible Brighton win.
Okay. Then I think we can agree on this. I'm also going with a draw here. However, I'm saying a possible West Ham win. For the reason that Brighton's defense clearly better. Although I want to give, I'm always in favor of the more attacking teams. So I think West Ham could do something here. However,
I think this game will be won on defense.
Well, I mean, if that was the case, then if Brighton win, but I'm going to say a draw here.
Because West Ham offense isn't that great either at the moment. Like
it's not
without the proper front three.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I think a draw here, but I'm leaning more towards a West Ham win.
Okay. Next one is Man United versus Wolves. United lost 2-0 at Liverpool as Trev expected. We both watched the game to be honest, but I don't think I was so negative of United. I could see them equalising more than Trev did.
Well, they should have, but they didn't. No, it wasn't.
It wasn't like a really bad game for you guys.
But again, we create our own problems.
You guys held on to 1-0 for a very long time, which
Last kick off the game.
It isn't easy to do at Anfield, I feel. But then they got beat at home, 0-2 by Burnley, despite having 72% possession, which is more worrying. But then they beat Tranmere Rovers 0-6. Even Lingard scored. Yeah, maybe that's a saviour for Solskjaer. Maybe? I don't know. I don't really know.
I think that Tranmere result is terrible. Because this will be the mentality now. Now you say, maybe they'll give Solskjaer more time. Oh, now we're a good team. We won 6-0. Our next game is against Man City. We can win. No.
Yeah, well, they'll be playing, as Trev said, Man City next for the EFL Cup before hosting the Wolves in the Premier League. Wolves, on the other hand, also known as the Comeback Kings, won 2-3 at Southampton in a huge comeback from 2-0 down, all in the second half. They then lost 1-2 to Liverpool at home, although they looked like they could have won. Cody slipped at a crucial moment in front of goal to let Firmino score the winner. They deserved a point, at least, to be honest, with how they played, especially Traore, who was really quick, and Robertson just couldn't keep up. They also don't have any cup games before visiting United, so will be much more rested in comparison. Odds will be in United's favour, but I think with Rashford's uncertainty and Martial's inconsistency, I'm guessing a draw at best for United, so I'll be looking at a Wolves win.
Yeah, I agree. Wolves win here. No, okay, I won't say no doubt, but...
Could you see like a 0-2? Yeah, I could actually.
Traore. Because who's going to score a goal?
Traore, Jimenez.
Who's going to score goals for United? Martial? I don't think so.
And Cody will be actually, trying now. Against United.
Yeah, he'll wear those good stats this time. But in this game, I just think I'm not looking forward to it. It's gonna be. All I see is just Traore running down either wing. He's better than Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka, I'm gonna say now, he's the best tackler in the league. I spoke about my friends with this. I maintain it. He's the best tackler in the league. But he's far from the best defender in it. He's just not. And then Luke Shaw on the other side. This fat child. He's not going to be able to keep up with Traore in pace or power. Even Klopp, at the end of the Wolves game, Klopp singled out Adama Traore and said he's unplayable. Wolves
high praise from Klopp.
Maybe he's trying to maneuver a move there or something.
If there was a time to sell Salah.
I don't think Salah is the hero of that Liverpool team.
He isn't, that's why.
Yeah.
He's worth a bit.
Salah. I think Firmino is more important than Salah. He does so much that goes unnoticed.
But could you imagine Mane and Traore? Anyway, Burnley versus Arsenal. Burnley defeated Leicester 2-1 at home in a second half comeback. Then they won again at Old Trafford. Nick Pope made 7 saves in both games and got consecutive man of the match. Burnley must have heard me say that they'll be relegated if they didn't pick up their form, so that's why they're getting the results now,
So obviously they're watching.
Yeah, they're watching.
So like and subscribe.
They will host Norwich for the FA Cup next. Arsenal drew 1-1 with the Blades at home, then 2-2 at Chelsea as I predicted. But their display at Chelsea in the second half was outstanding. That fighting spirit exactly is what we need. Mustafi's poor mistake led to Luiz's red card, so he'll be out for this one. Guendouzi subbed on for Ozil, which was also the right move because Ozil couldn't match the work rate of the rest of the team, which is quite worrying. Martinelli though is legit. He could replace Aubameyang if Aubameyang is to leave.
So
I don't know. We've been getting reports, haven't we? Barcelona. I could see him at Barcelona.
And Barca are looking for a Suarez replacement.
Well, anyway, they will visit Bournemouth for the FA Cup next. Both teams are showing good spirit, especially in late games. With Burnley's recent momentum, though, I think Arsenal could be in trouble, especially with their defensive issues. Saying a draw for this one.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm going with the draw as well here. I think Burnley confidence is going to be high after beating us. Being at home, sure, good thing. Arsenal, from a neutral standpoint, it's nice to see you guys showing some fight. That's
Yes.
what you've been missing
Yes, definitely.
for a long time. So, I don't know. I think this will be a good test for you guys. I don't think it's going to be an easy game for you. Burnley might just be up for this game.
Yeah,
so I'm also going
sure.
with a draw here.
With their momentum and their wins recently.
Yeah, sure. And I
Yeah.
think they're that fighting, scrappy kind of team who traditionally was able to get points from you guys. I think they'll go in with that
Yeah.
kind of mentality again.
And from a betting perspective, Arsenal has the advantage in their handicap. So yeah, for sure. Always bet on a team with a home game and a positive handicap. You have much more chance of winning.
Okay.
Yeah. Home game, positive handicap. Always bet on that team. Yeah. So that's why, like, you should always bet on the away games for Liverpool and bet on the home team. Because Liverpool in this season will be giving out like 1-2 goals as a handicap, and they don't win by 1 or 2 goals. Well, they don't win by 2, definitely. They win by 1.
Yeah, away.
Yeah, away. And with the positive handicap of the home team, you're more likely to win. Last one, Spurs versus Man City. Spurs drew 0-0 at Watford, unable to score without Kane again. Then they finally got back to their winning ways with a 2-1 victory over Norwich at home. Son and Ali scored in Kane's absence there. They also tied 1-1 with Southampton for their FA Cup game. Man City drew 2-2 against Palace at home despite having over 70% possession. Then they won 0-1 at Sheffield, also with 67% possession. Aguero scoring all the goals there. They beat Fulham for the FA Cup with ease, but will face Man United for the EFL Cup next. Plenty of depth in the squad to rotate as per usual for Pep's side, but I could see a draw here if Mourinho plays the right team and tactics despite the odds favouring Man City. It was tied 2-2 in the reverse fixture early in the season, so maybe a 1-1 this time.
You think so? You think so? The thing I'm most looking forward to here is the interaction between Mourinho and Pep.
Oh, so off field.
Yeah, kind of. I just want to see like how that dynamic will go, because this game almost feels like a chess game. I'm more focused on the managers and how they're going to set up teams than the actual performance of the players. Because I feel Spurs, no Kane. Okay, so it's going to be tactics. I'm a Mourinho fan, no surprise there. It's always interesting to watch his tactics and to see if he can do something in this game. But from straight results, I think Pep is probably going to win this one just because squad quality.
Yeah, possible. Yeah, definitely. More likely.
Yeah.
But from a betting point of view, Man City will have the favour.
Yeah.
And Spurs home team, they're not the worst team.
No, I think
They aren't playing very well, but
they'll need to play counter-attacking football. Well, from what we've seen this season,
yeah.
City struggle against quick counter-attacks.
Yeah.
So Son,
Could it be
Mora,
Son? Yeah.
perhaps.
Son and Mora?
Yeah. So we'll see. Also, no Eriksen, right? Seems like he's on his way out.
Yeah.
Coming to Inter as well. Man, Inter doing some business.
Yeah.
Sanchez, Lukaku, Young.
Chinese money for you.
Oh, true. Yes. Well, I'm saying a City win here, but I'd be happy if Mourinho could do something, get a draw perhaps.
That leaves us with fantasy. Also,
And I forgot, because I forgot to change my team last week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and that's why my captain is not a Liverpool player.
Oh, dear. Well, I do have Mane, and... sorry.
As captain?
No. Here's my vice. My captain is TAA. Which is a good pick.
Yeah, that's why I'm upset.
Good pick. I must say, I made a mistake with my team the week before. Because I was setting up for like this whole game week.
I remember.
And then I was playing around with my fantasy team, and then my phone slipped, so I quickly grabbed it, and I confirmed like 4 extra transfers.
So minus 12?
Minus
8?
that was after I already did a swap. So it was
4.
minus 16.
Nice.
And it got rid of one of my Liverpool players.
Who?
I have Firmino. So so bad.
So
And
you
so,
just
yeah.
kept those changes in. You didn't.
I
try to
kept
change
them
that.
because like I'm not gonna be able to reverse a 16 point.
Yeah.
There's no point. So that stuffed up my team for the double game week, and I guess in the long run this team could do me some good. Richarlison, I don't know if he's going to be back. That's a worry as well. So if he is, then maybe I could get some points back. I don't know.
You got any ideas for transfers coming up?
I am not sure if people should be buying Martinelli.
Are you saying that
Like,
in a good way or a bad way?
because when Aubameyang was injured, I was thinking about it and I nearly put him in. And if I did, I would have got some pretty good points, yeah. But I didn't, and I kept Ings and De La Feu. Ings haven't been really scoring that much since I put him in the team.
Me too. I put Ings and Grealish in
my
at the same
God,
time, and both of
yeah.
them haven't been getting points.
So it's a worry. But Southampton do have a pretty good run of fixtures after Liverpool, so maybe we could keep him for a bit. Delafeu or Deeney, that's another issue because Deeney's been scoring and
Because he took the penalties.
more so than Delafeu. So I'm not sure if I should swap him in. Definitely keeping the Sheffield players because they always get points. Yeah, and so this is my team.
Alright. And for me, I don't know. Like, Rog seems to feel like the burger is coming my way, but I'm not too sure yet. I for the past few weeks I've been really worried because the changes Roger made have been really good until you dropped your phone, and then that's really good news for me because I was really worried. I felt Roger was going to catch me. He may still do, but I'm thinking now, should Vardy be the one to go if he's not going to be starting too much? But if I take him out, who do you bring in? Like Kane?
Should you sell Mane?
I don't think so. I mean, now that I'm just thinking about it, maybe I'll take out Vardy, bring in Firmino, perhaps, maybe.
But Mane, that's a lot of money on the bench.
They say he'll be back mid-February. That's a couple weeks, 2 weeks. I've got to see how much it would cost to bring him back.
Vardy.
So the players who could potentially leave my team are Vardy, Ings, Grealish. But Ings and Grealish, they don't cost enough for me to make any real significant changes. So maybe Vardy and one. Anyway, this will be my team for this week.
Okay. Alright, so interesting comments this week about
A lot of things.
with the betting and stuff like that.
Yes.
Sort of drawing more focus on that area.
Yeah.
Instead of just predicting like a scoreline.
Yeah.
So moving forward, I think we'll probably lean towards that way.
Okay.
To give like a separation from maybe some other other YouTube channels.
Or maybe we'll do a mix of it. Because Roger is more in tune with the betting side of things.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe we could because that'll be an interesting experiment to see how looking at betting influences your perception of a game as opposed to maybe just looking at squads and form and whatnot.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We shall see.
Okay.
Yeah.
So alright. Catch you next time. Happy game week.